Drop that coal, boy. While the team readied themselves for the journey, I stayed behind to maintain and test the guns. Everyone boarded the train, eager to set off on our journey. Morale was at its peak, a comforting sight before setting off on a perilous journey. Fortunately, our friend Pedro had emergency coal, otherwise we would be lost. The boy who dropped the coal in the beginning had already abandoned the game before the train even moved. He wouldn't be missed or needed. Ah yes, forgetting something just before a trip, an age-old tradition that sends you rushing back in a panic. While we waited, I spotted several werewolves and managed to scare them away. My teammate wasn't grateful. The guy was finally coming back, and we were ready to continue on our way to Mexico. The boys kept playing with the ammo boxes for some reason. The beginning is always the hardest, especially with a team still finding its footing. And sometimes trying to reason with some people is like talking to a brick wall, pointless and exhausting. Night finally fell, and the first town was just ahead. Tragedy arrived early. Her breaths came in sharp gasps, each one heavier than the last. And in those final moments, she longed to unveil the mysteries hidden within her box. Fortunately, just as the light of life began to fade, medical assistance arrived in the nick of time. Our other teammate came running from a distance, panic and worry etched on his face. Everyone's gaze was locked on the safe at the bank, and in that moment, the tension was palpable. It was then that it became undeniable. No one trusted anyone. They all pretended to be distracted elsewhere, but the moment one of them entered the bank, the rest quickly followed. The accusations started flying, sharp and unrelenting, as suspicions turned into accusations and distrust spread like wildfire among the group. They argued for hours, and at the end, they couldn't come to an agreement. It was now a matter of who would be faster. It's safe to say that at least one of them wasn't very happy with the outcome. They continued looting the houses for a while until one of them, clearly the one who wasn't fast enough at the bank, had already reached the train and started to drive away. It seemed Pedro Boy was feeling offended. He demanded an apology. His teammate, cornered by the tension, offered a reluctant apology, and for a brief moment, the dust of conflict seemed to settle. Once at the outpost, friendship was still an alien concept to the team. Once everyone got on the train, it was now my time to drive. I was moving at a steady pace when, without warning, my teammate suddenly asked me to stop. It was a confusing moment for all of us when we realized that the other guy was missing. She began crying for help. My partner spotted a pack of wolves and took action. I felt incredibly touched by his display of bravery that I didn't think twice before grabbing that gun to provide support. Fueled by adrenaline and the thrill of the moment, I tried to impress my team with a daring move, but in my eagerness to look cool, I made a small mistake. I quickly got up from my seat to assess the situation and realized that nightfall was approaching. I felt relief upon discovering that my teammate had only suffered minor injuries. One of them sold his helmet to me for $5, and I was very happy. They also gave me some money I had dropped earlier. It was a cold night, yet we were all in good spirits, chatting and enjoying each other's company. As we were getting to know each other and sharing bits of our stories, one of the guys suddenly jumped off the train and made his way to loot the lab. Death Note Boy bounced with excitement, unable to contain himself before darting off toward the lab as well. Paige and I stayed on the train to protect it. She suggested that we should try to clear the town from zombies so that we could all go and loot later. The turret gun is quite possibly the best and most useful gun in Dead Rails, but some of the zombies wear body armor, unfortunately. I knew the girl was watching, so naturally I tried to show off. I have no idea how Death Note Boy was able to hear the gunshots from so far away. I was genuinely impressed. I continued clearing the town from zombies when Paige insinuated she could do better than me, so naturally I allowed her to try. Certain females exhibit such an intense and absurd competitive nature, never resulting in their favor. She emptied the ammo boxes and hit exactly 0 zombies. I realized that our friends were taking too long at the lab, so I figured something could go wrong. I told Paige we should go help them, but she refused to come. When I arrived to the lab, I instantly found the issue. The zombies had blocked the entrance, and our friends were trapped inside the lab. I did my best to unblock the entrance, and even though it wasn't much, it was enough for my friends to escape. They must have escaped already, I told myself, but I was very wrong. I tried to escape myself, but it was too late for me. The zombies took out my beloved pony. In my final moments, struggling for breath, a sharper pain struck my heart. Not from my wounds, but from the sight of my friends still trapped in the lab, as the swarm of zombies closed in and began to tear them apart. The zombies, still unsatisfied, caught the lingering scent of the female from afar, and with renewed hunger, they broke into a frenzied sprint, driven by instinct alone. Fear had burned out. All that was left was grit, the cold, stubborn need to drag back whatever pieces of the team she could still find. The faintest glimmer of hope lingered in our dying teammates' eyes, but it was fading fast, slipping through their fingers as the darkness closed in. She dragged the one with the worst injuries first. Then the other one, and that was it. Either she didn't know how to count, or perhaps she simply absolutely hated me. She took my box and left me behind, to rot in the cruel shadows of abandonment. One of the boys finally succumbed to his injuries, slipping away from this world in silence. It wasn't long before the other one's heart gave up. With the entire team gone, the female saw no future for herself in the vast, unforgiving desert. Overcome with despair, she made the unthinkable choice, opting out of this world by her own hand. In memory of everyone on the team, each brave in their own way, but most of all, in memory of me.